I took a long break from Destiny 2 when Beyond Light came out along with Season of the Hunt, just because I was getting kind of bored of the game and other reasons. But I recently decided to come back, and I have to say I've been enjoying Destiny 2 so far, and so I thought to myself, why don't I make a review for new players and people interested in Destiny? I'm going to start my review with, well, what is Destiny 2?
Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't.
Destiny 2 is a futuristic looter shooter in space that's actually successful, where you, the player, is considered a guardian whose job is to protect the universe with their magical powers of light that came from a giant ball. Now, I know that my explanation of the game's story sounds super simplified, but there's a reason as to why I'm oversimplifying it, with the main reason just being that Destiny 2's story is massive, and I won't be able to cover all of that in a single video. However, I do recommend trying to actually learn the lore, because the gameplay's storytelling is pretty lackluster, and it fails to captivate the perfection that is this expansive story. Now, Destiny 2's gameplay splits the community into two parts, PvP and PvE. There is a thing called Gambit, however, which is PvP, PvE, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video because I feel like talking about Gambit kind of deserves its own video, because I actually really like Gambit, but not a lot of the community does. Also, Gambit's not really played at all. So with that information, moving on to PvE and what you can expect from it.
Whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars.
Now, what PvE offers are strikes, nightfalls, raids, seasonal activities, and story campaigns. Like I said earlier, the story's campaign is pretty bad when it comes to telling the story, but it does enough to let you in on why you're doing some stuff. The main campaigns will usually take you 4 to 5 hours of gameplay, with each expansion taking maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. Strikes are 3-man activities where you go in, you kill a boss, you go out. It's super short, super sweet. It usually takes around 10 minutes, but let's face the facts, Destiny 2 players love to speedrun that shit. Nightfalls are just strikes, but harder, with more rewards depending on what difficulty you choose. And Nightfalls also rotate per week. They do take more time on strikes though, depending on what difficulty level you chose for that Nightfall, with some of the harder ones usually taking up to an hour, if not a little bit more. Seasonal activities always change with every new season, and to access them you need to buy the season pass, which is about $10 or 1,000 silver. Now, I've never bought a season pass, so I can't really judge them. However, I do know someone who does review them. Datto is a Destiny 2 YouTuber. I would trust his word if the season you're currently playing in is worth your money. Raids are 6-man activities where you go against various scenarios before fighting the final boss. Now, raids are the endgame of PvE and are the epitome of Destiny 2's content, where the most fun is to be had during these raids. Nothing is better than raiding with your boys on a Friday night and bullying whoever alerted the dog. Also, dungeons are a thing, but I'm not really going to explain it because it's basically just a smaller version of a raid that requires 3 people instead of 6. Now, onto the sweatier side of Destiny 2, with that being PvP.
You didn't throw enough grenades!
Okay, so let's get this off the bat. I dislike Destiny 2's PvP. I think it's complete ass compared to its PvE counterpart. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is not because I'm tired of getting stasis into a Felwinter shotgun in the face. The reason why I'm saying that is, compared to any other FPS PvP game, it's just worse. With the reason being that because Destiny 2 is a looter shooter, PvP is about who has better loot. Yes, there is some skill in Destiny 2's PvP. There's skill in every PvP game. The problem comes down to who just has better gear. There's a huge difference between Felwinter's and a blue shotgun. But outside of my toxicity towards PvP players, I do feel kind of bad for them because for PvP, there's not even a lot to do compared to PvE. PvE, all that stuff I said, you can do that. PvP, what do you have? Nothing except different game modes, which is just PvP, both a few changes. That is to say that there isn't anything to grind for. There is. It's just that compared to PvE, it's way less. The only PvP game mode that stands out is Trials, which is the end game of PvP. And even then, it's just elimination, both one life. I do not recommend this game mode for newer players, with the fact that the gap of gear is 10 times more important considering light level advantage is enabled.
I'm so proud of you, Guardian, and I want you to have this.
I guess it's now time to talk about, is Destiny 2 worth your time? Yes, absolutely. I would recommend this game to any of my friends. Destiny 2 is a free-to-play game with an amazing story, great gameplay, and a huge community. And I remember when I was doing a raid last night, my raid leader just told us, man, I don't know what it is, but there's just something about Destiny. And I have to say that it kind of fits the description of Destiny really well. It just is a good game. And I recommend that if you want to know how long you kind of want to give it as a trial run, I would say go through the tutorial with Shaw Han, or at the very least give Destiny 2 about 2 hours of gameplay to see if it's your type of game. As for the expansions, that's a story for another day. But if you really like Destiny 2 and you really want to play more and you want the expansion, I would recommend to wait until the expansions go on sale.